Good morning, children. This is your teacher, Nafisa Idinwala, wishing you good day, good time, good luck, good health, and good smile. Yes, I want to see that beautiful smile that brightens your faces. Children, today, as it is the first online session, so I welcome you all to a first online session of K-Tech High School. For which subject? Yes, English. Right. Now, children, I was thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking that what should I be doing with you all to make this session full of joy and enjoyment and fun? Because I had promised you. So, when I was going through your books, I came across a beautiful poem from your Bal Bharti. And the moment I saw that poem, read few lines, and I fell in love with that poem, children. And that is Past, Present, Future, written by Emily Bronte. Now, this past, present, future is not something related to grammar. Don't worry. It is regarding the different stages of man's life. Past, that has already been, as you know, is gone. Present, the situation that it's present you're living. Future, which you have not seen. So this poem is based on different stages of man's life. And Emily Bronte has described in her poem what does a small child thinks about different stages. So I would like to tell you all that this poem is in a dialogue form. And this dialogue form has made this poem a very unique. Now, children, I hope you all have your textbook with you all. I request you all to open your textbook. And this is the poem that we are going to do, past, present, future. It will be followed by the English workshop, that is question answers exercise. And then let us see who it is. Emily Jane Bronte. Isn't she beautiful? Yes, she is beautiful. She was born on 30th July 1818, Taunton, Yorkshire, England. Now let us see and read about Emily's work, which made her a unique or which gained her a fame or she became very famous during 19th century. Emily Bronte and her sisters were well-known authors who lived in the 19th century. Now, Emily had sisters, they also were very good writers. They all lived in 19th century. Emily Bronte uses nature to talk about her thoughts, feelings, and ideas in many of her poems. That means we can say Emily was a lover of nature. She used nature to express her thoughts, feelings, and ideas. This poem about the time means different stages of man's life, past, present, future, is presented in a form of a dialogue between the poet and a happy child. I told you before only, it's in a dialogue form. That is the uniqueness of this poem. And the child in the poem is happy. For child in the poem, the past was pleasant. For the child who is in the poem, the past, the child feels it was very pleasant, very carefree. But sadly, we cannot go back to it. The child is repenting or feeling sad that he cannot go back. The present is the time when you prepare for the future. And the present is a time when you always think of future, what is going to happen. And what is the future? Which is unknown. And for the future is unknown but exciting. That is the main theme of the poem, where different stages of man's life is discussed. This poem, children, is total comparison. There is a comparison done with different stages of man's life. Like, this is the poem. We will first read and go with a stanza wise explanation so that you will understand the poem very well. And I've also got some additional questions which will help you to understand much more better. Okay, are you all ready to recite with me this poem? Yes, let's start. One, two, three. Past, Present, Future by Emily Bronte. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Tell me what is the present hour, a green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. And what is the future, happy one? A sea beneath the cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. Now, children, first let us understand what does the title mean. And here this is Emily who is talking to a small child who is very happy and smiling. And the child answers the poetess about his stages of life. He says that his past is like an autumn. There is a comparison. He compares his past life to an autumn. Then, when poetess, that is Emily, is asking, how is present is? So the child is telling it's sprightly, blooming with flowers, springtime, where birds are chirping, trees have gained new flowers, right? It's a new life the plant gets after the autumn season. Because in autumns, all the leaves wither off. And when the poetess is asking the child, how is future his? The child says, it is very vast, glorious, and mighty like an ocean which is under the cloudless sky, which is very exciting, bright, and there is no limit to it. That is how he describes, that is comparing it by comparison. Now let us understand the title. What does it mean? Past, the time that has passed away. Present, the time that is right now. Future time that will come. Yes. Now let's move on with our stanza wise explanation. Present, past, present, and future. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Now the poetess is asking the small child. The child is what? Happy and smiling. That is a mood of a child. He's very innocent, right? Small child is very carefree. They have no worries. They are always happy go lucky, right? So poetess is asking the child, tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. Thee means you. It's an archaic word, children. The meaning of thee is you. So she's asking, what do you think about the past? So the child answers the poetess very nicely, explaining how his past is. He is comparing his past to an autumn season. He is saying that it is just like an autumn season, which is soft, mild. That means the child's past is very gentle. He is grown up. He is not so grown up, but he is a small child. He is grown up now and he has fond memories. Even children, you all must be having fond memories of your childhood, right? But can you go back to your childhood? Can you go back to 3 or 4 years? No. So the child says that he has fond memories of the past, but at the same time, he is feeling sad because he cannot go back to the past. So he says it is like a wind that sighs mournfully, means the child is giving a sigh of mourn, like, oh, I can't go. Though his past is very pleasant and he is grown up, he's feeling really sad. He's repenting that he can't become small again. He's growing up gradually and he's quite grown up. So he's saying, my past is so beautiful, so pleasant, but sad thing is that I can't go back to my past because there were no worries in my past. Now, the next stanza, children. Tell me what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray where the young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. Now, the poetess is asking, tell me what is your present hour? Means, what do you think about the present? Now, the child is grown up, he is an adult. So, the child answers very beautifully. It is like a spring season where trees bear new leaves, flowers. In the same way, the child who is like, you know, he's very handsome, charming, who has gained experience. He's become well experienced person. He has learned many lessons in his life and is ready to go out. He's quite mature enough. He's ready to go out means not ready to go out of his house. He's ready to explore the outside world, which is very vast. Like what? He wants to fly like a bird, gathering its power. So the child is gathering its power. That is, power is strength to explore the world because he's now a matured person full of experiences he has got, and to him it it is beautiful. He wants to step into future and he wants to reach the sky, means be successful, which is endless. Right, children? Do you all want to be successful in life? Yes, we all want to be, right? So now it's time for you all to gather your power, right? Like a bird and fly. And the sky should be your limit, children. That means you have to be successful. It's a very inspirational and motivational poem, children. It is inspiring, giving you some lesson. And every poem, children, there is a lesson behind it. So this beautifies the poem. This is the real beauty of a poem, where it gives you the hidden meaning, where we extract the hidden meaning, what the poem is trying to tell us. Now, the third stanza, children. What is the future, happy one? A sea beneath the cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. Now, the poetess is asking the child who is quite grown up, very mature, very sensible. The poetess is asking, what do you think about your future then? The child is very intelligent. He wisely answers that it is bright, mighty, glorious and dazzling, like a sea under the cloudless sun. He wants to be successful in all the tasks that he does. He wants to undertake all the opportunities, or even he is ready to grab all the opportunities, take risk in his life because he feels that his future is limitless and he wants to succeed. He wants to take all the opportunities without any fear. He wants to see himself as a successful person. He's ready for it now. That is why he's saying that my future is happy, it is exciting, full of excitement. He knows that it's going because he is ready to grab all the opportunities. See, if you, even you, if you decide to be successful, you should grab all the opportunities and you must try. You must not give up. And if you try, success is within your reach. You will never face a failure. And even if you face a failure, you learn from your mistakes. And you will one day, it will be a day where you will be successful and you will be proud of yourself. So the child also wants to be successful and to be proud of himself. Isn't it a beautiful poem, children? Now, children, let's move on to your workshop. Read the poem using a loud, proper rhythm and intonation. Means in a rhythm. We have already done that. Now, question number 2. Link the items in the 3 columns properly: A, B, and C. A carries past, present, future. B is also connected, and C is also connected with the different stages. And these are the lines from the poems. So I have got the answers for you, children. Past: a soft and mild autumn evening, a pleasant time which has ended. Present time: a green and flowery spray where a young bud sits, a time full of life in which you gather strength. Strength is power. Future: a seat, a sea beneath a cloudless sea, an exciting, thrilling time which has no end. Sorry, children, there is a printing mistake. It is a sea beneath a cloudless sun. There is a little mistake in my printing, writing. You write down cloudless sun. Sorry, children, for that. Second, I've got language study. Beautiful. Now, language study means grammar. Here, there are 2 figures of speech. Now, let me tell you what is figure of speech. The figure of speech is a language which is normally used in poetry. It is not used in a literal way. It is a decorative language which beautifies your sentence. Whenever the figure of speech you see it, you will always find in poetries. It gives musical effect or a greater effect. Now, here in this poem, there are only 2 figures of speech, but we will be doing rest in the later session. So let me explain what are these 2 figures of speech. A simile. A simile is an imaginative comparison of 2 different things which have something in common. Simile always includes the words as and like. Now, this figure of speech is a simile where in a sentence, in a poem especially, where you see as and like with, between 2 objects, where there is a comparison, it is simile. Simile is incomplete without these 2 words, as, like, and sometimes so is also used. As tall as tree, as lovely as flower. I can say Sunita is as tall as tree. Rajveer is okay, it's a flower, right? So flowers you will always connect with the girls. Rahil is as lovely as flower. So here Sunita's tallness is compared to a tree, and the beauty of Rahil is compared to a flower, right? I can give you one more example. Camel is like a ship of desert. Means camel is compared to a ship. Camel is an animal which walks in the sand. But if we walk, we will sink in the sand. But camel can walk smoothly. In the same way, in water we can't walk. But ship sails, so camel is compared to a ship, right? Second metaphor. A metaphor is an imaginative expression that refers to someone or something as another person thing. It shows that a person or thing has some quality of that other person. The word as or like is not used in metaphor. Here again, it is a comparison, but no as and like. But I'll tell you a secret. Yes, to recognize metaphor, and that secret word is is. Which word? Is. Now let's see some example. He is a gem of a person. So he means a boy or a man is compared to gem. Gem is a precious stone. So the quality, the good qualities of a man is compared to a precious stone. What is that word used? Is. So you can pick out easily. It becomes easy. Second is time is money. Yes, time is valuable. Money, right? Everything has value. Once time passes, you cannot get back, right? Hmm? Time is valuable, like money. Books are our friends. Now, there is a question for you. Miss, abhi to aapne bola, is the word. Now, where is in this sentence? Yes, that big question mark in front of you. But here also, children, if you are smart and wise enough, like a little child, you will pick out what? Which word is used here? Are. Because your subject, it is not in singular form, it is plural, that is books and friends, plural. So for plural, we use are. So books are our friends, means books are compared to friends, right? Books. Uh, the way you talk to your friends, you can communicate with your books, right? You don't need anyone if you have books, as they are your good friends. The clouds are white sheep. Now, here, clouds are white sheep. Now, you must have been reading one poem. His coat is white as fleece. Means when you remember that ship, white fur or a white wool on the ship body, you imagine. So that fluffiness of a cloud is compared to that fluffiness or fluffs of the or a fur on the body of the ship, right? Now, there are three metaphors in the poem. You have to find out. So, I have already got an answer for you all, children. The past is autumn evening that is soft and mild. See, is his word used over here. That means past is compared to autumn evening, which is soft and mild. The present hour is green and flowery spring. Now, the present is how? Green and flowery, springtime. And the third one is the future is the sea beneath the cloudless sun. So, I hope you have understood this. Shall we move on? to some additional question answers which will help you to understand poem much, much, much better. Stanza 1, some additional questions. Question number 1. What question does the poetess put forward to the little child? The poetess is asking the child what the past is like to thee. I told you thee is an archaic word, you. Question number 2. Is the child happy or sad? How do you know? The child is happy. We know this because poetess has described him as a smiling child. Question number 3. How does the child describe its past? The child says that its past is like autumn evening that is soft and mild. Question number 4. What are autumn and wind compared to? The autumn and wind are compared to child's past. And we can say other way around. Child's past, the child is comparing his past to autumn and wind. Other way around. What does the wind do? That is question number 5. The wind sighs mournfully. Stanza 2, question answers. Isn't it getting very interesting? What does the poetess want to know in the second stanza? The poetess wants to know how is the child's present time. Question number 2. What is the child comparing its present hour to? The child is comparing its present hour to the spring season when the trees have new leaves and new blossoms. What is the young bird doing? The young bird is perched on the tree and is gathering all its strength to get ready and fly away. Question number 4. Which season can we relate this stanza to? Why? We can relate this stanza to the spring season because the poetess has mentioned green and flowery spray, which reminds of spring season when the trees have new leaves and flowers in them. Stanza 3. Question number 1. What does the poetess want to know from the child? The poetess wants to know how the child sees its future to be. Question number 2. What does the child want to be? The child wants to be a sea that is beneath the cloudless sun. Question number 3. How does the poetess address the child? The poetess calls the child happy one. Question number 4. Which season can be related to this stanza to? Why? We can relate this stanza to summer season because there are no clouds and the sun is out shining brightly, right? How does the child describe the sea? The child describes the sea to be mighty, glorious, dazzling, as well as the one that is stretching endlessly. That means he is describing indirectly what? His future, which is mighty, glorious, and dazzling, which is endless because nobody knows the future. Now, these are the meanings, children, you have to write down. Find the meaning of the following words: thee, you, mournfully, sadly, spray, stem or a small branch of a tree or a plant, mighty, very powerful. I can give you one word for also. Write the adjectives that are used to describe the following: evening, soft and mild, spray, flowery, sea, mighty, glorious, dazzling. Thank you, children. That's all for the day. I hope I was able to make this session full of fun and very interesting. Stay safe, healthy, take care of yourself, do not step out of your house. Love you all. See you in the next session. And one more request: write all these question answers in your notebook very neatly. Start preparing, work hard, right? Promise yourself, right? You all have promised yourself to work hard, right? Yes. Thank you.